there's a variety of different ways that you can do a kettlebell swing. I know they call one form like the American version, another form some European version. I don't know what they call it. But I always teach them one particular way. Normally, if I'm programming something for someone, this is what I'm going to want them to do. There may be variations to that. I guess I'll show you guys different versions just to kind of give you an idea of that. But my version first, because it's the best one and the correct one, of course. And that is that I think people have a tendency when they do them to kind of squat and then throw their arms up in the air. I never, most of the time, want people lifting their arms up. I'm going to tell you, this is a movement that is powered entirely by your hips. So all that happens whenever you do these swings is that your hips are going to sink back as that kettlebell comes through, and you're going to push it off of your legs by extending your hips and pushing your butt forward, right? So think, give the kettlebell a baby, we'll say. So throw your hips forward. My hips, they're locked out right here. At that point, my arms continue just from that momentum of the push of my glutes. Goes to a certain point, it changes directions. We sink back with the kettlebell, push. Right back to here, push. So what I always tell people is that my shoulders are relaxed, right? Because you need your shoulders to lift that kettlebell up. There's no pulling at the shoulders most of the time. I'm just using the momentum that my hips give my arms and then changing directions with that. So to initiate that movement, I'm starting with the kettlebell a couple feet in front of me. Feet, I go a little bit outside of shoulder width, kind of turning my toes outward. And I'm going to reach forward. Now, I'm not going to round over, right? We're never rounding over. But I'm hinging back, reaching my arms forward to grab that kettlebell. Now, what I'm going to do here is start with that, pulling it back between my legs to give it a little swing that allows me to gain that momentum. So what that starting position looks like, boom. Just show you guys that again. We're out in front of me, nice flat back position. Grabbing it with both hands. We swing, push. Now, as I do this, you guys see I'll turn a little bit. I'm not going to extend at my back, right? I'm not arching to get that kettlebell up. If you watch my back position, it's going to stay very flat. It's just butt back, butt forward. But I'm stopping at the point when my hips are locked out, right here. It's hard to hold that weight out and do that. So I swing through, I squeeze my butt tight. That kettlebell goes, again, only a certain distance, depending on how hard I pushed it. As it comes back down, my hips sink back with my arms, and I change the direction. Something that I always cue people with on this is that you should feel your arms pop off of your thighs as you come through. So as I lock my hips out, my arms, again, they keep going. So there's a little pop, pop, pop. If you're not seeing that pop, what that means is that you are initiating it and almost driving the motion with your arms. You can see right here, my hips stay way behind my arms. I'm not pushing with my butt. And that's what you guys need to think about whenever you do this, is pushing and locking your hips out explosively and watching, again, that your arms, at the point your hips stop, continue moving and then back. So think hips, arms, arms, hips. We don't want arms followed by the hips, arms followed by the hips. That was a lot of explaining, guys. I hope you understand that. I just see those done incorrectly so often, and it always tends to be that people are driving with their arms instead of using the momentum of their hip extension to bring that kettlebell up. So that's the way I want you to do it most of the time. If I'm writing something for someone and the goal is maybe to just burn as many calories as possible, it's more of a HIIT workout, then maybe I will, in the program, specify, like, okay, you're going to do your hip extension, but then I want you to raise that kettlebell up over your head. Whew, I am getting out of breath doing that. I think that takes away a little bit from the hip drive that I would normally want you to use for a kettlebell swing, but it does add more motion to it, a little bit more full body activity. So just look at your program and see If I was going to put that, I might put like full range of motion kettlebell swing. That would be where I'm using my arms to bring it up over my head. In either case, though, always remember that explosive hip movement without arching the back. That's the power plant behind your kettlebell swing. Go do them.